can stand there.
It's Friday night. None of us have anything else better to do.
Not have the protest here. Obviously, it's already blocked off. There's a sidewalk here, so that's why they went ahead and decided to move. I am just making sure we've got audio at the station, just making sure they can hear me. We're live. Hey everyone, I'm 10 Tampa Bay Shannon Clow, and right now we're in Northport outside of Brian Laundrie's home. So I'm sure everyone is pretty much up to speed with this story. I'm going to step out of the way and just kind of show you what we're seeing out here. So inside this house now, we have Northport police inside. At least 4 officers are inside, and what they're doing, I am literally texting with the Northport media contact right now. He confirms to me that these Northport police officers are talking with the family of Brian Laundrie. I can confirm to you, they are not talking to Brian Laundrie. They are just talking to the family of Brian Laundrie. And here, watch right now, there comes what looks like a detective on the Northport Police Department's team. Someone else who is wearing clothing not marked Northport Police, but oh, this is interesting. They're going into a car in the driveway right now. I believe this car has been here for a couple days. They're popping the trunk of this car right now. We see the detective opening the trunk of this car, one of them inside, going through the drivers. We also have a police officer out here making sure that we're staying back and that we're not going up. That's why you're not getting the closest view, but we will use our zoom on the camera. It looks like they didn't pull anything out of the trunk, but they are looking through the driver's side. I'm taking a close look right now to see if they're pulling anything out. This looks like a silver car in the driveway. I would just have to assume this belongs to the family, possibly Brian. I don't know what could be in there. Police have not given us word on what could potentially be in this car, but you can take a look. It looks like they are looking for something specific. And I know inside this house, detectives are sitting down with Brian Laundrie's family. So very interesting to know what could be in this car, because if you guys are all backed up on this story, Laundrie, as we know it, came back in that white van, which is now in police's evidence, not here at the home. Now they're going through another car, so unclear exactly what they're looking for, but I am taking a very close look to see if they pulled anything. I'm looking in the hands of these detectives. I don't see anything. It doesn't look as they found anything, but they are going back into the house. We know inside that home, I know I've said it, but if you're just joining us, they are talking with Brian Laundrie's family. They are not talking with Brian Laundrie himself. I can tell you, I am texting with the media contact with Northport Police, who is leading this investigation along with the FBI, and he tells me that they're sitting down inside with the family. And I did just ask the media contact with Northport Police how long they're going to be in here. I specifically said, can you tell me how long you anticipate to be inside Brian Laundrie's home? And the answer I got is no. So how long we're going to be out here tonight, that is unclear at this moment, but we're going to stay out here. We're keeping a close eye. Something that is important, I do want to tell you, is probably, let's see what time it is now, in the last half hour or so, when we were getting kicked off the property, 2 Northport police officers who were in full uniform, they came out, they went to their car, and then they went back in with brown paper bags. So from my experience as a news reporter, those bags are always used as evidence bags. So what they'll do is if they find something that could be related to this investigation, they'll put it in those bags, they'll bring it back to the police department, and they'll review exactly how this may tie into the investigation. So what that tells me is they may have found something inside Brian Laundrie's home that could be connected, that could be helpful to finding Gabby. That's the biggest thing out here. I want to spin around. I mean, take a look at the amount of people out here. On top of a lot of media outlets, we have neighbors. I was talking to one man who was up front against the door. He doesn't even live around here. He says he came all the way from Sarasota, so that's a little bit of a drive. It's not here in Northport. And he says he's just out here because he wants to help find Gabby. We heard from Gabby's dad today, and he says the biggest thing that he is so thankful for is all of you spreading the word. He says that's so key in this investigation and bringing her home safely. So I can just give you kind of a look at the home right here. And it appears right now things are quiet. I do want to point out to you, we also have an officer outside, and he is just making sure that this crowd doesn't go all the way up to the door. Hey, can we pan left, Randy? That's my photographer. If you hear me say Randy, look right there. We have people with signs. We have people with loudspeakers. At one point, they were chanting, "Where is Gabby? Brian, what are you hiding?" Those are chants we're hearing over and over, and especially when police walk out, that's when we continue to hear those chants. Let's see, I got a text on my phone, not from the Northport Police. media contact, but I am continuing to ask these questions about how is this related in the investigation? And a big question I have too is, why aren't they talking to Brian Laundrie, but they're talking to his family? What's going on there? What determined that? So these are all answers. Of course, 10 Tampa Bay is out here. We are going to get answered for you. I mean, just the scene out here, though, it's unlike anything I've seen. I can't even count the amount of people out here, dozens and dozens. When you come down Brian Laundrie Street, I mean, there is a car parked behind a car, behind a car. I mean, it's insane to see the scene out here, and we can, I mean, just kind of show you yourself. You can see just a lot of media, obviously, like us, are out here, but we just have people who don't know Gabby, people who don't know Brian, and they are out here. They are spreading the word. That's the biggest thing. I also went to a vigil tonight, not too far from here, about 5 minutes away, and these were random people who heard about the case, and they want to spread awareness. They want to get the word out, and that's something that Gabby's father is just so thankful for. He said it to Northport Police today, which they shared that interview with us. He is so thankful for this attention. He says this is what it's going to take to bring her home and to bring her home safely. I know a lot of you probably caught up on this story. There's a lot of details, things unfolding. I mean, I feel like hour by hour. An hour ago we were at a vigil, or more than an hour ago now, but here we are. We're at the home of Brian Laundrie, and I can confirm to you, police, they are inside, but they are not speaking with Brian. They're speaking with his family members. Very interesting to me that that car in the driveway over there, they went into and looked through. They were searching. Looks like they were searching for something so unclear what they were searching for. I'm going to take a moment right now, and I'm going to text the media contact with Northport Police, and I'm going to ask him, can you tell us what police were looking for in the car in the driveway? That's what this is all about. We're asking the questions, and we're trying to get you guys answers. And I mean, there are a lot of people out here that are demanding answers. They're chanting, they're asking, Brian, speak up. They're begging at this point. And some people out here, I can tell you, I do want to almost advise you, we are hearing some frustrations, and that comes out in the way of curse words here and there. So we're going to try to make sure we don't get that on this stream. But from time to time, that's what we're hearing. Looking over there, it almost looks like another Northport police officer may have showed up. Looks like he's helping with crowd control out here as well. Trying to kind of see, it looks like people who are trying to even drive on this street are not able to get through, and that's just because there's so many people out here, people in the street. I mean, I'm taking a look over there. If you were trying to drive by, you're not going to get through. I mean, there's just people everywhere. This has gained the attention of so many people, and I do want to say I was talking to some people tonight who don't know Gabby, don't know Brian, but actually made shirts saying, let's pray for Gabby. So to them I asked, you know, why spend your time to do this? And they said they want to help the family. They feel for the family of Gabby Petito, and they are out here. They are trying to spread the message, and it's gone far. And that's something that Gabby's father is so thankful for at this point. And it's very interesting as it starts to get dark out here. We're taking a peek inside the house, and you can see there is a light on in one of the rooms. Not much movement going on out here right now, but of course this is something we're staying out here. We're keeping a close eye, and if you have questions, comment below and we'll see if we can get them answered for you with investigators. I can tell you the Northport media contact has been very transparent. He's been very in touch with Gabby's father, so we will answer what we can. It's interesting on the street. I am seeing on top, of course, a lot of people, some unmarked police cars, one right here, and it will be interesting to see if these police come back out of the house. Very interesting just to see, I mean, the amount of people. This car's actually reversing right now. I'm unclear why, but it almost looks like you can't even get through. I'm seeing signs. Where is Gabby? I mean, people took their own time. People who don't know Gabby, who don't know Brian, are taking this time and making these signs. It's really incredible to see how far this story is spreading, the attention it is getting, and it's all centering around bringing Gabby home. And bringing Gabby home safely. That's a big thing her dad emphasized today with Northport Police. He believes that she's just somewhere where she can't communicate, somewhere where she doesn't have her phone, and somewhere where she needs help. Help. That's what he's trying to get her. And also, I think it's worth saying, when we heard from Gabby's father today, he was describing her. So that was something I was really interested in, because we're doing all these stories about her missing, and who is Gabby? What kind of person is she? He said she's someone that loves adventure. She loves traveling. She's someone who always looks to the brighter side of things. And I think right now he's taking that brighter side aspect of Gabby and he's trying to channel that himself. He's trying to remain positive with everything that's going on. He said that Gabby, just as a young girl, she always was very creative, artistic. She liked to paint. She would like to paint in her own kind of ways. So she was taking a cross-country road trip to what looked like she was going to start up her own blog. So it's interesting to kind of connect and now see what an adventurous person she was. And I mean, everyone that knows her that I've spoken to has nothing but great things to say about Gabby, and they're so concerned. They want to see her come home. It'll be interesting to see if the police can tell us what they're searching for in that car, because it's just so interesting to me, because Laundrie, as we know it, came back in that white van, which is now in the evidence for police. So what possibly could they be looking for? I do want to emphasize to everyone who might be watching right now that they are not talking to Brian Laundrie inside that home. They are talking to the parents and the family of Brian Laundrie. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes out of this, what investigators are able to tell us. You can see they're trying to make sure the road's clear. We actually have a police officer out here just to clear traffic in the road. So it's a pretty narrow road. Lots of neighbors out here just standing in their driveways. We can look right across the street. I will tell you, a lot of people with their phones out, a lot of people videoing this, and that's something that Gabby's father actually is really happy about. He's happy that people are taking to social media to spread the word, to get this out there, especially locally here in Northport. So very interesting to see. I will tell you too, something we will have for you tonight is when police first got here. So a crowd of people were already out here before police decided to come to the home of Brian Laundrie. And when they came here, people got video of them storming in. So we'll have that video for you tonight on 10 Tampa Bay at 11 o'clock. So make sure you're watching. I'm sure you can hear that in the background of my microphone there. People are just driving by. They're saying you have to come out sooner or later. So people strongly believe that Brian is inside this house, but I can confirm to you what I know is police are not talking to Brian Laundrie inside the house. They're talking to his family. And it'll be interesting to see what information the family provides. Is this going to be helpful information to locate where Gabby could be, to where she is? This is all unfolding literally as I'm speaking out here. As the sun is setting, we're still going to stay out here tonight. We're going to answer your questions, so comment them below. My digital team can probably text them to me, and I'll answer what I can. I'll answer what I know. I will stress to you that Northport police have told us time and time again, there are some things they just can't tell us. They want to make sure they do this investigation, that they find Gabby, and as a part of that, there are some things that they need to keep within their agency and within the FBI. So that's something that when we ask them questions, they say they can't answer it, and that's why. That's the reasoning behind that. So you can see, oh my gosh, it's so interesting to just see people drive by with their cell phones in hand and they're just videoing this. I mean, I can tell you, people who live on this block, they've never seen anything like this. Never, ever, ever. So, I mean, we've got people of all ages out here too. Children, mothers and fathers, just random people who live in the area who have no connection to Gabby or Brian, and they're out here because they care. They care about Gabby and they care about bringing her home safely. So I'm going to take another look at the house over here as it does get a little bit darker. Looks like we just still have that same officer over there. He's just making sure that no one goes up on the lawn, because I'll tell you, when I got here, we were all right up against the front door. And then once police were making their way in and out of the house, it was getting a little difficult because, I mean, I can't even count the amount of people out here, but dozens and dozens and dozens. And that's people, that's media outlets. So we have a lot of people out here. This is gaining a lot of interest, as I'm sure all of you watching know, because you're clearly interested in what's happening. I really do hope that tonight we get some more information from police about exactly what is going on inside this home right now, exactly what Brian Laundrie's family has to say, what information they can give that's helpful. I know a lot of people right now, they're just begging on family, on Brian himself to speak, because they just want to get to Gabby safely. That's what her dad was saying too today. He said the main goal right now is just getting to Gabby, getting her home safely, And then he said after that, that's when he'll think about the name Brian Laundrie. But right now what he wants is he wants his baby daughter home. This is his only daughter, he said, his baby. She's 22 years old. So I know all the parents watching right now, you probably can personally feel for him and Gabby's mother too. Both of them are going through a very tough time right now. So what everyone wants is the question answered. Where is Gabby? And then next, everyone wants to see her brought home safely. So we are out here right now. We'll continue to be out here. And when there is another big update, I will chime in.
Stacy, we live about an hour south. I personally live in Pensacola, so we're spending the night up north up here covering this story. But that's okay. I mean, this is where the news is. We want to make sure that everyone has the most up-to-date information. You know, right now we're kind of in a standby situation because we're waiting to see if any more updates happen.
There's like no room to move. So it's like, and when I was turning this way, my foot sank in the water. I was like, I got you. I don't know. I mean, it's unpredictable right now. It doesn't look bad though. You want to put in a pony?
Yeah. With a lot of hate.
Crystal, I appreciate you giving us that comment there.
Let's give it a shot.
I did not know that Northport had just tweeted that. I'm looking on my other phone right now to try to pull up that tweet.
Okay. My phone? You put start all the way?
Okay. All right, guys. I got a little bit of an update here. I'm going to read you a brief tweet from the Northport Police Department just so everybody's aware. Crystal, thank you so much for letting me know that this just came out recently. The tweet reads, Northport Police are currently speaking with the Laundrie family at their request. At this time, we're not speaking with Brian or details when available. So, according to that tweet from the Northport Police Department, they're speaking with the family right now. They are not speaking with Brian himself. So we're still waiting on more details, but that gives us a little update as to what is going on inside that house. With Brian Laundrie's family, not Brian himself. So we can hope, because they said more updates to come, I think that gives us a little positive news that we might actually hear some more information tonight about what is happening in this case. This could be an opportunity for the Laundrie family to offer up information, especially what's going on inside that house right now. We just don't know. And police aren't
I got to bring another minute on it.
in that tweet that Crystal, thanks again for letting me know that they tweeted that out.
And then if you want to bring another one, you're going to head that way. Oh, it's on the right over there.
We got a little view through the window.
Got a view through the window. batteries are like this, a little smaller than this one. Just only on the back seat. Driver, it should be there. And if not, passenger seat. Front. Yeah, there should be. No, I removed them. It should be in the back seat behind the driver.
You're a big ass coward. Sure will.
I mean, it smells good, but damn, they burn you out.
We don't know. Northport police said that.
You're a big idiot. We'll have to
But
test
they
it.
said they're not releasing the crime.
We know you're here. Everybody go run your back, huh? So we're waiting for the night. So get your ass out here and say what happened to Gabby. Come on out, you coward.
I'm half. Yeah, but if you. Yeah,
I'll zoom back in. See some activity in there.
it should be fine.
Give anybody joining us just now a wider view of what's going on. You know, it's getting darker here. You can see it's getting harder to see the crowd. But the crowd is actually a lot larger than it was just a few minutes ago. It just continues to grow.
We are her friends. We want to know where she is. Where is Gabby? We are not leaving until you come out of that house and tell us where she is. What happened? Everybody deserves an explanation. She has family. She has friends. What if it was you? What if it was your kid? What if it was your brother? What if it was your sister?
What if it was Brian?
What if it was Brian? You would want answers. We all are all sitting here all night getting eaten up by bugs, waiting to see what happened to her. You need to come out and tell us. We deserve an answer. She deserves an answer and her family deserves an answer. Even if it was an accident. If it was an accident, come out and say what happened. The truth is going to come out regardless. You just look like the devil. You're a coward. You're a coward. You're lucky that's not my kid, because I would have been bashed in your windows, homie.
Police officer trying to clear the roadway to move cars through. That's not a development in this case. Cars trying to get through. For anyone just joining us, I told you my battery's running quite low here. So. Yeah. Oh, you are?
It's a ways, but it's a lot closer than it was.
How far out?
It's still a whole it's on the right.
I'll wait till you've got everything set up here, and then I'll walk up there and charge my phone. Can I get the key to turn it on? All right, guys. To all of you just joining us, unfortunately, the limits of technology are approaching. I have a little bit of battery left, and so I'm going to have to walk up to Kurt's car to charge my phone.
stay there. You can stay there and get a shot in case something happens. Hey Liz, I'm back. I'm sorry. Okay.
You guys should be ashamed of your son.
Shame on all of you.
Shame on all of you. Karma is a mad bitch and she's gonna come around tenfold, believe that. You gotta come into you, dirty laundry. Dirty laundry. Dirty laundry. Dirty laundry. I'm working on it. It's the first one ever. And I'm angry. Here we go! Bring him out! Bring him out! We want answers!
Quiet! Quiet! Are they bringing him out?
Arrest her! Put him in handcuffs!
Brian's family cooperating? Brian's family cooperating.
Oh, now he's cooperating after all this time? What does that mean? What does that mean? Now he's cooperating. Now you're cooperating? Why don't you come out and cooperate to the public? Why don't you come out and cooperate to us and say what you gotta say? Why are you saying it behind closed doors? You're guilty, that's why.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
3 minutes left.
Okay. Don't worry.
IB technical 1-2, yeah.
Old enough to get served life in prison.
It's okay, yeah.
You look like a pretty boy. They're gonna like you there.
Come on, Daddy. Come on, Daddy. Bring him out. Bring him out.
Yeah, live right now. More paper bag?
Bring him out.
I get me a spray, bug it, bro. I have some in the car. Is this the one?
We're all here for you, Gabby.
Hey, mic check 1-2.
Can you imagine looking for
Mic check
your
1-2.
son
So dozens of
and no
Northport
one
police
will tell
officers
you anything?
have spent hours
Can
on
you
hours.
imagine the heartbreak? Can you imagine the loneliness and the wondering, the sleepless
1 minute.
nights? Can you imagine looking for your child and no one will tell
Hour and a
you
half
anything?
inside.
Do you not have a heart and a soul? Even if you made a mistake, you need to own up to it because this ain't going away. We're going to be here. So you need to come out and say what you did. Justice for Gabby!
Justice for Gabby! Justice for Gabby!
Justice for Gabby!
It was a minute, like 20, 30 seconds ago.
Justice for Gabby!
Probably about
Justice for Gabby! Justice for Gabby!
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Justice for Gabby! Justice for Gabby! Justice for Gabby! Justice for Gabby! Justice for Gabby!
Stand by.
I hope you never feel this pain.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, Wi-Fi is real tight here. My son is
Josh, Jennifer, officers rather, they've spent the last hour and a half inside the Laundrie household. As you all mentioned, the parents of Brian Laundrie, they wanted to speak with officers, so that's why they're here. They're not speaking with Brian, they're speaking with Brian's parents. But you can hear in the background, dozens of people here in the Northport community have made their way to the Laundrie household. They're demanding Brian Laundrie to come out, speak, tell officers what he knows about Gabby's location. We know Brian Laundrie got back to Northport on the 1st. Gabby's mother filed that missing persons report all the way from New York on the 11th. So tomorrow we'll make a reach to Gabby's mother.
You know what? If they don't arrest tonight, we'll be out for her. She's going to be in jail all weekend without seeing a judge. That's that.
That's all we know right now. We did learn today that officers
Your ex-got sent from Brooklyn to whatever she is, 2,000 miles away without an explanation, homie. We're all sitting down here waiting for you. We're not going anywhere. Am I right, Northport? Yes! Am I right? Yes! Are we leaving? No! Gabby deserves justice! Yes! Arrest him! Get your ass out of that house right now, you little sissy girl!
staying on top of this story.
GC levels now?
Stay here all night. Allison
And we're still live on this?
I think so. I mean, I haven't turned it down.
And so, of course, we'll bring you the latest.
Let me just double check.
She deserves answers. Her family deserves answers. Come out with the police, with your lawyer, whatever, and say
Funny
what
you say that, Josh,
happened.
because
That's all you gotta do.
So you'll be live at all times.
Either way, bro.
it seemed like the entire community just flooded and made their way.
We're gonna head that way.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, go for it.
At one point, the entire street was blocked.
Where is
with cars
Gabby?
and people, so
Where
officers
is
had to clear the
Gabby?
street,
Where is Gabby?
basically turn people away, tell some people, hey, you can't be here. The street was full with people, full with cars. And if it was bright outside, we could show you the line of cars just up and down the street right now. So there's no indication that they're going to tell people to stop yelling or screaming, where is Gabby? But we do know they're trying to clear the street because there are tons of people out here right now.
Woo! Where is she? Come on out. Shine, we're gonna shine all those lights on your house until you come out, you little coward. Mommy and Daddy can't say anything out here. Come on out, tell us where she is. What happened? Her family deserves answers. Her friends deserve answers. If it was your child,
Hey, Randy, are you seeing my levels?
so come
Got my
out and
levels?
say what happened to her.
Okay. So what we want to share with you guys right now here on the live stream is what I'm going to do is, since not too much is happening, we know that police are still inside the home of Brian Laundrie. We know that they're talking to Brian Laundrie's family, not Brian Laundrie himself. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk around and I'm just going to talk to some people out here to give you their perspective of what they're here, what they're doing here, and just give you an inside look. But I will tell you, my photographer is going to keep both eyes on this house, and if anything develops that way, we will turn around real quick, we'll show you what's going on, and I'll tell you what I can tell you from what I'm seeing right where I'm standing. But right now I'm going to take a walk around. My photographer is probably going to stay in the spot he is, and he'll just kind of whip around with me. But I am going to extend my microphone here. Hey, anyone out here willing to chat with me? I'm with Channel 10. Just while you're out here, where you came from.
Okay.
So where'd you come from?
From down the road, really. We're citizens of Northport, and you know, we just want to show our support, honestly, because like this kid's someone's daughter. You know, it could be your daughter. You know, it's someone's family member.
Yeah. And you know, people are watching on our live stream right now. Can you just explain to them kind of what you're seeing out here?
A lot of support, honestly. You know, a lot of people showing love. You know, obviously everybody wants to find Gabby.
Yeah.
You know, it's a sad story, but hopefully she's found safe.
Yeah. And do you have any personal connection to Gabby or Brian?
No, I don't, honestly. But like, if this was my family, you know, I'd want support from the community too.
Yeah, and I mean, you're out here, you're supporting. Are you also spreading the word among maybe social media?
Of course, everybody. You know, invited all my friends out here. You know, it's my girlfriend and my friends. You know, I told them a lot more people are out here, so I'm trying to like get a lot of support out here for them.
Hey, anything you would say to Gabby's family?
I'm sorry you guys have to go through this, and I hope she's found safe.
Hey, anything to the Laundries, Brian himself?
I think he's a coward, man. You know, and I really think he should just come clean, because you know, it's just gonna eat you alive.
And I can confirm to you, just in case you guys haven't heard, happening right now inside the house is police are talking to Brian's family, not Brian himself.
Okay.
So just to keep you guys updated with the information we know. Thank you for speaking with me. I appreciate it. I'm going to take a walk around. My photographer will probably stay over there. But hey, excuse me, I see you guys have signs in your hands. I'm with Channel 10. Any chance you might do a little interview? My photographer's just across the way here. I can step on this side. So what do your signs say? Can you read them to me?
Yeah, my sign says sometimes silence is louder than words, sorry.
No, you're okay.
And I said speak up, and then I said last to see her, first to not say anything, then man up, and then bring Gabby home, and where's Gabby?
And what about yours?
Mine says, we think you're guilty, so prove your innocence. And my main hashtag is she trusted you, because of course she did, going across country with him in a van.
Right, yeah, and engaged as far as we know it. So
Exactly.
talk to me, being out here, where'd you guys come from?
We're actually all the way from Massachusetts, and I feel like we relate to the situation because this is all I have is him, my fiance. He's 23, I'm 21, and I can feel the trust that she definitely felt for him. So I feel like she was completely betrayed in all types of ways. Yeah, and it's just honestly disgusting and disturbing how he's just sitting in there listening to this. Like, if you loved her in any way, you need to come clean. Like,
So did you guys travel here just for this?
we actually are from Haines City. We moved to Haines City together, and so that's why he's all I have out here. And but we heard about it all over TikTok, Facebook, everything. So I was looking at it all day, and then I found out that there was going to be the protest tonight. So we drove here to come here to support and try to make a difference.
Yeah, and let me talk to you for a second. So on my own social medias, I mean, I'm a reporter, but just on my personal accounts, I've been seeing, you know, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and like you're just seeing it everywhere. Are you guys posting about it yourselves?
I am. I am posting it on TikTok. I'm going to make a TikTok about this whole thing tonight, and hopefully we get some answers tonight.
That's something Gabby's dad said today. He's so thankful for people spreading the word. So I know from him, he says thank you. Anything you would say to the family of Gabby?
Stay strong. I know it's hard, but just stay strong.
Keep your head up.
Keep your
Definitely keep your head up.
definitely keep your head up. Stay strong. Keep the focus on Gabby, and just hope they get some answers. And I know they're going to be aggravated, frustrated, because who wouldn't be? And I know how my mom would feel. So just stay strong, and I'm sure Gabby would want them to stay strong.
Yeah. Hey, anything you would say to Brian himself?
Honestly, to Brian, I would say that he's a coward, and that he's only making matters worse for himself. Because how could you do that? Even if you didn't do anything, you're making yourself look guilty, because he was all she had. He should be the one to speak up for her.
I feel like you guys can relate to that. I
Oh,
mean, being
definitely.
engaged yourself.
Definitely could relate to that. I know without a doubt that he would have my back and he would stick up for me, and that he would protect me with everything. So, and I'm sure that's how she felt about him. So she was probably just completely blindsided.
Well, appreciate you guys speaking with me, and I know the family appreciates you being out here.
Thank you.
I think they're clearing the road. Thank you. Thank you. Here, I'll take a step back. So I'm sorry, I'm going to sneak right behind you. You're all good. So the police right now are just trying to keep the road clear. I'll let you listen into these chants right now. And I do want to mention to everyone, just bear with us when we kind of change our shot. It might get a little shaky, it might get a little blurry, but bear with us. We understand that we are live at every moment here, and we're going to do our best to give you a look at what's going on in the now. And I can tell you those people are chanting. I'm sure you can hear them right now.
Because we're not going anywhere.
I mean, people have loudspeakers, they have signs, and you just heard her. She said she is not going anywhere.
Some answers. She has family who loves her. She has friends who love her. America's daughter. America's daughter, you deserve to come out and explain yourself.
So it's very interesting talking to the people who are out here because
We want Gabby.
I'll let them chant and I'll stop talking.
We want Gabby.
But I do want to point out that it's interesting, just about everyone I've spoken to here does not have a connection to Gabby personally and doesn't have a connection personally to Brian. They're out here to show their support and to get the word spread. You just heard that one girl. She said she's seen this all over TikTok and she's going to make her own TikTok tonight just specifically on what's going on out here tonight. So it's very interesting just to see how far this is spreading from here in Northport all the way out west. I mean, this is now a national story gaining national attention, and people are traveling here to this Northport home of Brian Laundrie from where they live, whether that's maybe a couple hours out, maybe it's just down the road, but they want to get the word out. So it's very interesting to just talk to the people who have shown interest in this case, and now they're invested and they feel for Gabby, they feel for her family, and it seems like everyone is calling on Brian Laundrie to speak up. It's interesting to ask these questions and just see everyone's take on it. It seems like most people are just relating to each other. They feel for the family. They put themselves in the situation. You heard that one girl, 21 years old, just a year younger than Gabby, and she said she couldn't imagine what her mom would be feeling like right now. She couldn't imagine what her fiance, she's married, she's engaged as well, so she can't even imagine what he would be going through. So it's interesting to see people, you know, really invested in this story and really hoping the best for Gabby and wanting to bring her home safely. So once anything else happens, I will jump right in here. For now, we will be listening to people who are chanting out here. We'll be just keeping an eye on the officers out here. And of course, I do want to remind everyone, in case you just recently pulled up the live stream, we do know that Northport police are inside the home of Brian Laundrie here in Northport, and they are talking to his family, not Brian Laundrie himself, but they are talking to the family of Brian Laundrie. Of course, once we get any updates, but I do want to let you know we did see them bringing evidence bags into the home. So we're expecting them to take those evidence bags out. As to what's going to be in those evidence bags and how they'll play a role in this investigation, those are questions we will be asking. But once anything else happens, I will be sure to hop right on here. But for now, I'm going to turn off my microphone.
Let's kick her away. You talk to her. Maybe they were speaking on the megaphone. The police officer before we went to talk to her.
They said over there that's a brief it's a brief quiet, which is like a violation.
Yeah, like noise disturbance.
Yeah. He said that before when I was watching it there.
Respect the neighborhood, okay? But it's not helping what you're doing. You being here, we understand that. But the yelling, the profanities that were earlier, I'm not saying they are now, is not helping. So I just ask you, please, just to have respect for the neighborhood. We understand why you're here, and our officers have been very lenient. Is he cooperating? I can't speak to that. But I'm here for you guys just to try to keep this calm and peaceful. All right? My officers are we're here with you guys.
We're being peaceful. We just want answers.
Thank you with the bullhorn.
love our law enforcement.
I ask you, please, just
We're going to be out here every
Is
day.
Brian Dirty Laundrie in the house or not?
We love law enforcement, but we're going to be out here
I can't scream, so I'm asking a personal question.
So I ask you, please, again, on behalf of Chief Garrison, please respect the peace, okay? You guys can be here, but please respect that.
There's no peace until Gabby's found.
Are they showing her
Where's
respect?
quiet, don't worry.
Where's Gabby's respect? Where's her family's respect?
Okay, I want to hop back on here and just kind of recap what that officer had just said, only because I know we're a little bit of a ways and it's probably hard to hear what he said. I'll wait until the chanting stops and I'll actually show you what's happening right here. This is a little bit of what the officer was referencing happening out here. So the officer had just went up and addressed everyone out here and just asked everyone to please keep it down almost. I know they're asking people who have those loudspeakers not to speak in the loudspeakers because we're getting to what time on a Friday night? 8 o'clock. They want to make sure that they're being peaceful here in the neighborhood, that they're not causing a ruckus, let's say. So the officer just got up and he just asked everyone to cooperate, to remain peaceful. He says he understands why everyone's out here. He says it's okay that everyone's out here. He's just asking that they don't use profanities. I guess he referenced that earlier. There were profanities used, so he asked everyone to not use those. He says right now it's just about the noise level and keeping everything peaceful. That's what he said. So of course that's something that we're hearing from people out here. As you can hear, it appears people are still using their loudspeakers.
Bring him outside!
Bring him out! Bring him out!
Bring him out!
And that man with the loudspeaker right there, I just interviewed him and he told me that, you know, he's out here. He doesn't know Gabby. He doesn't know Brian, but he's out here because he cares. He cares about Gabby. He has a sign, a lot of people making signs, and those signs reading, "Where is Gabby? What do you know?" A lot of people really want to hear from who could be inside of this house right here, Brian Laundrie himself. I do want to remind people, in the case you're just watching our live stream, that police officers from Northport are inside the house of Brian Laundrie right now, talking with his family.
Gabby, no peace.
And we can kind of pan around and just show you what we're seeing. People with their loudspeakers just chanting.
No, Gabby, no peace. No, Gabby, no peace.
And I do want to emphasize that the Northport police officer who just got up in front of the house here, he did address just to keep the profanities to a zero, and he just wants everything to remain peaceful out here. He wants to remind everyone that this is a neighborhood, people live here, and we actually have traffic control on this street. This is a small side street, and there are officers directing cars, and I had just taken a walk to my car just down the block, and I can tell you that people who are driving by, every single person I saw had their phone out, and they were videoing this. People are just opening their eyes and they're like, wow, I have never seen anything like this. I mean, just the amount of people on this street. There is not one place to park, I would say almost for a mile on this street. It's just car after car after car, and we're seeing that person after person out here. A lot of people out here with their signs, and they're just expressing their concerns, and they said they're going to be out here as long as they need to be out here. So you can hear them chanting. And I think it's interesting to hear from people, so I'm going to take another walk around. If my photographer wants to hang here, it might be actually a little hard to see them because it is so dark out, but I'm going to go see who else might want to speak to us, just kind of why they're here, if they happen to know Brian, if they happen to know Gabby, and I'll take you with me on this. So let's see if anyone out here will chat with us. Hey, how are you guys? I'm with Channel 10, looking to just talk to people out here. Any chance you would chat with me? No, we're just talking to people, you know, why they're out here. We're just curious as to, you know, your take on everything.
Well, I just think it's pretty crazy that he hasn't came out and said anything or talked to anyone about, you know, she can be out there, you know, and no one knows where she's even at or where to even look.
And one of the questions I'm asking a lot of people out here tonight, you know, where'd you come from? Do you live in Northport?
I used to live in Northport. I'm out in Port Charlotte, but I used to live here for a really long time.
Okay. And do you happen to know Gabby or Brian?
I don't. But it's still, it's close to home, and it's very disturbing.
And I feel like a lot of people out here are the same way. You know, they don't know Brian, they don't know Gabby, but they care, and that's why they're out here.
That's for sure, yeah, because it's terrible.
And I don't know if you all are aware, but I like to just kind of give people the information I'm getting from police. So inside right now, we know that police are talking with Brian's family, not Brian. We have confirmed they are not talking with Brian, they're talking with his family. So just kind of keep everyone in the loop on what we know at this point. That's as far as we know. But another question I'm asking a lot of people is, anything you would say to Gabby's family? Obviously, they're going through a really tough time. Ma, you have anything to say?
Just that my heart goes out to them. Because I have a daughter of her age, and it's very sad that they can't find her. I would just be beside myself. I just hope he does the right thing and says something.
And it is emotional. I feel like a lot of people out here can feel for them, you know, and putting themselves in that situation.
If it was my child, I don't know what I would do.
having a daughter. In this situation, is there anything you would say directly to Brian or Brian's family?
Just to please tell them where she is so they can rest, so they can have peace.
And to Gabby's family, we know they're suffering. You know, we know this is a hard time. You as a mother, I mean, I can see the emotion. Anything you would say to them?
Just that I'm praying for you and I hope she comes home.
I know this is a tough one, and you know, talking with just a couple over there, they're around Gabby's age and they're engaged. And she was saying, you know, I couldn't even imagine him kind of just, you know, doing something like this. So people are kind of putting themselves in this situation, and we can see the tears in your eyes that it's emotional. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys talking to me. I appreciate it. We're going to take a step back over to kind of where we were, because there are tons of people out here. Just kind of give you a look. It's incredible to see the amount of people out here, and I mean, to hear those stories. I mean, that's why we're kind of out here right now too, to hear about, you know, people here, to hear why they're here. And you know, that mother, she doesn't know Gabby, she doesn't know Brian, but she's out here because she cares. I mean, she's putting herself in this situation, and you know, as a mother, I mean, she just immediately started crying. She can barely talk about this without wiping tears from her eyes. So it's stories like that that I feel like hit home for some people, and it's the reason people are out here well into now our Friday night. So very interesting to hear from people. I'm taking a quick look on the house to see if anything has developed. Looking pretty quiet in that direction. If you happen to join us, I'm sorry, I feel like I am repeating myself here, but I do want to recap for people that right now we know there's at least 4 Northport police officers here. Let me put my microphone back on as well. There's at least 4 Northport police officers inside the home of Brian Laundrie here in Northport. And let me just link this back on real quick. It might make a funny noise. I apologize ahead of time if that's the case. But I do want to emphasize, because I hear people out here just kind of talking, and that's why I'm telling people what I know at the moment, is that we know those Northport police officers who are inside, they are talking to Brian Laundrie's family, not Brian Laundrie himself. So I hear people asking, is he cooperating? What is he saying? So I kind of want to spread that word out here, spread the confirmed information we have right from police. I mean, I'm texting the media contact. I've got my phone right here. I've been holding it in my hand all night. So any information we do get, I do like to spread just so people are aware. And one thing I do want to share with you, here I'll bend down and get my phone here, is I am texting with the Northport media contact who's been very transparent. He's telling me what he can tell me, and that's another thing, just a little reminder for people, when we're asking some of these questions with their investigation, they say they just can't release that to the public just yet. So they say just please be respectful of that in the meantime. But one important question I had for the media contact was, do you know how long you expect to be inside of Brian Laundrie's home tonight? And the straight answer was no. They have no idea how long this might take. They are questioning the family of Brian Laundrie. They're talking to them. It was interesting. I don't even know how long ago now, but I will guess an hour ago or so. There's a car in the driveway here of Brian Laundrie's home, and they were going through it. Police were looking through it. What they were looking for, we're not exactly sure. That is a question I asked the media contact. I have not heard back just yet, but it's interesting to see, because we all are probably aware at this point that Brian returned home in that white van that him and Gabby were traveling cross country in. So at this point, they're looking in a different car now. So what could they be looking for inside of that car? They even popped the trunk of the car. So I can tell you from what I saw is they didn't take anything out of the car. They didn't get anything out of that car. But it's interesting because that's not the car that Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito were traveling in. So what possibly could another car have in it? What could that be relating to evidence-wise in this investigation? We'll give them a clue as to where Gabby could be, how she is, what exactly is happening here. It's the question everyone has on their sign. Where is Gabby? And it's hashtagging, I can tell you, across all social media platforms. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I mean, it is everywhere, and that's something that Gabby's father said today he's so thankful for. He says what it is about right now is getting the word out to everyone he can get it out to. This is now a national search to find Gabby, so it's interesting just to kind of keep an eye out. I just see one police officer in front of the house, and he's there just to make sure no one goes up, because when we first came out here today, everyone was right up against the front door waiting, and then they kind of pushed everything back, and that's because police, Not so much right now, but earlier were in and out of the house. We saw them come out, we saw them get evidence bags, and we saw them bring them right back into the house. So that's another question I have for police is, why do you need those evidence bags, and what are you finding inside the house? How can that relate to this investigation? Of course, those are questions we may not be able to get answered because we know a lot of this investigation, they say they need to keep within the FBI, within the detectives. Some of it cannot be released to the public. So that's why some questions, they will tell us that, and they'll tell us just be respectful for now until they get more information. Hopefully they'll be able to tell us more. But I did also ask the media contact for Northport Police if we should expect to get a release tonight, because that could potentially tell us what's happening in here, what they're learning, what they're finding. I know that's the question of dozens and dozens of people out here. So I know Gabby's family probably wondering the same. So very interesting to kind of just see this all unfold. I mean, it's unlike anything many people out here have seen. I would almost say unlike anything anyone has seen out here. Police literally are doing traffic control on this small side street here. When cars are driving by, they can't help but take out their phone and just video everything they're seeing because it's almost just unbelievable. And right now, it just looks like those police officers from Northport Police are still inside the home of Brian Laundrie. A question I do have is a couple of the possibly detectives, police officers that went inside didn't have Northport Police uniforms on. So my question is, are they with the FBI? Which agency might they be with? Because we know that there's multiple agencies on this investigation searching for Gabby. So that's a question I have. What agency are they with, or is this just Northport Police inside the home? And I think the big takeaway is, what are they finding in there? What are they learning? What is Brian's family telling them that could hopefully be a clue as to where Gabby is and be helpful with finding her? So it's all just a developing situation, and that's why we're out here, and that's why we're going to stay out here until we're able to learn more. And at 11 o'clock, I do want to mention on 10 Tampa Bay, Channel 10, we will be having an update, just kind of recapping you through the timeline. If you have any questions, this will be good for you to watch because we're really going to detail out everything we know up until now. So it'll be a helpful refresher for some of you if you've been following this. And hey, if you're just hopping on here, you're not too familiar with this case, it's going to be really a good informative update to what we know, what we have confirmed in this case. So we are confirming information with Northport Police, with the FBI, also with the police over in Utah. We know that there was body cam footage released. We watched that footage. We got the police report. We've been talking to those police as well. Something I did today is, if you haven't seen the video, we do have it on our website, 10tampabay.com. But I do want to mention that the body cam footage from Moab, Utah, I asked the police department there if the officer in that body cam footage would do an interview, just recalling what he sees. Maybe, re-talking it, re-watching it would spark something in his mind that was maybe unusual now and didn't seem unusual then. But the police department did tell me at this time they are not doing interviews with anyone. So I did ask them if that happens to change, if they can let me know right away, because I'd be very interested to talk with that officer who had contact with Brian and Gabby. This was a little over a week, days before she went missing. So, maybe there were key factors that he didn't write up in the report that he had experienced that now, considering the case we have with Gabby missing, maybe would stick out to him. I would be very interested in talking with him, but unfortunately right now that police department in Utah is telling us no interviews. So if that changes, of course, 10 Tampa Bay is going to be right on it, as we are right here outside the house. I hear, it doesn't appear to be a helicopter related to this from my perspective anyway, but it is interesting to just be out here outside the home. We see lights on inside of the house, and I can tell you that we know Northport Police are in there, and they are talking to the family of Brian Laundrie. They are not talking to Brian Laundrie himself, as far as we know it. That is the last update we got, and that was the update going into this, what the media contact with Northport Police told us. They said, we're talking to the family. That's what we're doing. No mention of talking to Brian Laundrie himself. So I'm very interested from people's perspectives. They believe that Brian has been inside of this house. So with that, there could be things inside of this house. We know that the van was here. So maybe he brought things inside that could be connected to this case. It's important to also point out that Brian Laundrie is a person of interest in this case. So we do want to remind you that person of interest to which he has decided not to speak. So his lawyer has told us that is his right and that is what he is being advised to do. So he is not speaking, but I can tell you, just saying that, that is something a lot of people out here do not agree with. I know that Gabby's dad is very upset with that. He understands he has that right to remain silent, he said today, but he told Northport Police he does not agree with him remaining silent. He says, imagine that this was your daughter. Put yourself in this situation. He does not agree with them, not Brian, not speaking. But maybe it'd be interested to see Gabby's take on Brian's family speaking, to see obviously what comes out of this. My phone did just buzz. Nothing from Northport Police, but once I do get an update, I will be sure to keep you updated. And for now, I'll turn off my microphone because not too much is going on, but once that changes, I'll hop right on here and we'll just give you kind of a look at the house and we'll switch between the crowd as well.
Sure. Look at you. I think they're.
Do you have bug spray? I'll take 15.
And just my back. Thank you. Here's the cat, by the way. Thank you. I've got like probably 14 in my car, but I'm never smart enough to bring it. You know?
We're rushing out over here, man. You're gonna forget.
Thank you.
You're fairly new at 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Month in.
Good. How you like it?
It's nice.
Yeah, where are you from?
Sacramento, California, from ABC 10.
Oh, all right. Cost of living probably.
It's way down over here. Yeah. An average home down there is at $500,000. One bedroom.
We're going that way, but we're not there yet. And it used to be a bargain.
Yeah.
Wow.
Going up here, it's already starting to look like California here.
Yeah.
People can track
Especially
state.
Miami.
It's the same.
My daughter lives in Miami. They just bought a house. It's a nice, it's a small house. It's not big.
Yeah.
420,000 for a, like it's not even, it's like, I think 1,300 square foot. And they were lucky to get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's nice. I mean,
I kind of like this town. I might retire here.
Yeah?
Yeah, I kind of like it. It's kind of
Rowdy and it's quiet.
yeah. Maybe not this neighborhood. It's a little too rough. Because I would be the guy. I'd be the guy. I'd be like, I'm trying to watch my TV show. Yeah, I'm that guy.
That's how I'm going to be as I get older.
didn't appear that they...
Turn on your mic.
Clear the roadway! Give them room, give them room. Let them get out.
Hey, can you hear me?
Not yet.
We want justice!
Just getting our microphone situated, but what you're watching right now is two police officers pulling away. They just walked outside of the home of Brian Laundrie. They left without saying anything. People were asking what they knew, what they possibly could have had, what they learned. They didn't say anything. Right now, we know police are just trying to clear the road. As we believe, it looks like there could be more police still inside of the home. But we did just see two police officers leave the house of Brian Laundrie, and they drove down the road. I'm watching that car now, and it looks as if it is pulling away and leaving the home. Here's another officer walking who was inside the home, I believe. Unclear if he's leaving, but I can tell you there are still Northport police officer cars here outside of the home of Brian Laundrie. They're clearing the roadway. It looks like this police car is also going to be leaving. Police not saying anything as they stepped out of the house, just getting into their cars. And as you can see right here, they are pulling away.
Any update, officer?
You can hear that officer right there. Someone asked any update, and the officer said, not at all, I quote. But that officer has been outside of the house this entire time, just clearing the road and making sure that cars can get through. Here comes another car, unclear just because it's dark out if this is a police officer or not, but as they get closer, we'll get a better idea. And just looking inside, no, it is just someone trying to get through the street, so not a police officer right there. But from my understanding, there are still police inside of the home. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on my surroundings right now of what I'm seeing. People are still hanging out here. People have kind of quieted down. I think everyone's just kind of running through their heads what's going on. I think everyone's still asking the question, are there police still inside? To which I believe there are. Excuse me, I'm stepping in mud right here.
Hey, Rob, I'll be up there in a minute because I want to grab the live details.
But let's see. The other police are getting into their car and pulling away. It looks as if that could have been it for the police inside the home. They may all be leaving right now. We do still have one police officer who is directing traffic on the streets, so we're keeping an eye on our surroundings right now. Of course, you're watching this live as it's happening right now. I will be texting our media contact with the Northport Police Department to see what updates they can give us, as police have just left the home. We know two police officers for sure left the house and drove away. They're off the street. They headed back to probably the police department, so it'll be interesting to see if they can tell us anything of what happened. I know this police is going to want us to step out of the road so we can kind of walk onto the side here to make sure that we are out of the roadway and allowing cars to drive past, so just bear with us here as we kind of walk and squeeze through here. Tons of cars on the street, kind of like this. I mean, just bunched up against each other. I mean, either way you look, this is all you're seeing. I will tell you, I'm parked a couple blocks down, and this is all you're seeing for every single street. But right here, I can show you that this is the house of Brian Laundrie that they had walked out of. We know police walked out, and they didn't say anything as they did. A lot of people out here were asking questions if they could say anything, and they didn't say anything as they left. I'm kind of just taking a little spin around to see if I can see anything else. Everyone's still out here, people just lining the streets, people kind of taking this all in. There are two police officers still in the driveway, the same police officers that were kind of making sure no one went up to the door, because when we first got here, everyone was right up against the house. So those police officers are still in the driveway. We still have police officers in the road directing traffic, letting people through. From what I'm seeing, this is just regular people driving by. These are not police officers driving right now. The big question right now is, are there police still inside of the home? That's a question that I think we're just going to have to stay out here and watch to truly know the answer. I can tell you police are still here on scene. They're still in the driveway over there making sure no one gets too close to the house. So that would lead me to believe that police could still be inside the home. But of course, that's information that we're just kind of watching, waiting, and looking out for. Lights still on inside of the house. And in case you joined us since I last spoke, I do want to remind people that Northport police are here in Northport at Brian Laundrie's home speaking to his family. They are not talking to Brian Laundrie himself, and I just got a text. Let's read it here. Okay, this is important. So I just got a text from the lawyer of Brian Laundrie, and he texted me. I'm going to read it word for word right now. Be advised that the whereabouts of Brian Laundrie are currently unknown. The FBI is currently at the Laundrie residence removing property to assist in locating Brian. As of now, the FBI is looking for both Gabby and Brian. That is a brand new detail I am just learning. I am going to copy this message and I'm going to send it into my station. So breaking, right now we are learning that the FBI is currently looking for Brian. Brian is not inside of this home. I can confirm that to you. That is eye-opening information that I'm just learning about. Let me see if I can just get this to my news station so they can alert more people about this. This is very important information that everyone should be aware of. This information I am getting from Brian Laundrie's attorney, the lawyer representing him. Just sent me this text message. That is very big information that we're learning. I'm just kind of rereading this text message I got. Yes, this is the attorney representing Brian Laundrie. Be advised, the whereabouts of Brian Laundrie are currently unknown. The FBI is currently at the Laundrie residence removing the property to assist in locating Brian. As of now, the FBI is looking for both Gabby and Brian. I am going to ask him, do you have any idea where Brian could be? This is all happening in real time. I'm literally texting as the moment. Do you have any idea where Brian could be? Let's see if he answers that question. Looks as if my station has also sent me a message. So, alrighty, so that's breaking news. For those of you not familiar with this case, I want to bring you a little bit up to speed. So we all know that Gabby Petito is missing and that she was engaged or is engaged to Brian Laundrie. That's the home we're at right now. I just heard from his lawyer who tells me that Brian, not inside of this home here in Northport, his family is. And the lawyer tells me that the police are here looking for evidence to locate Brian. So now the search is for Brian and Gabby, which is very interesting information to learn. I mean, just myself right now, I have tons of questions surrounding this. My biggest question is, we believe he was here at this Northport home. Is his family aware of where he could be, where he could have gone? Is his family, assisting him and wherever he is? These are questions that I believe a lot of people have. Very interesting to learn that information. Let's see if the lawyer has texted me back here. Doesn't look like he has responded, but this is big information, and I will refresh some of your minds that Laundrie's attorney, who's representing him, who has advised him to not say anything, to remain quiet, is out of New York. I believe he's in Long Island, New York, so that's where we're communicating from. And very interesting information. I almost want to reread this text message to all of you that I got. So this is coming from the attorney of Brian Laundrie. He says, be advised that the whereabouts of Brian Laundrie are currently unknown. The FBI is currently at the Laundrie residence, which we are here now, removing the property to assist in locating Brian. As of now, both the FBI are looking for both Gabby and Brian. So that's interesting, the third sentence right there where he says that police are here at the home looking for property to locate Brian. All of our understanding when we came out here at first was to see if it was to help locate Gabby. So maybe it's a part of the puzzle piece. To locate Brian, we can locate Gabby. So very interesting. I'm going to reach out to Northport Police regarding that, see if they have anything to tell us. I can tell you police are still out here. We have 2 police in the driveway over there. We have dozens and dozens of people just lining up on the street, people not ready to leave, not ready to go home. And it appears that this is a big update. I mean, this is huge news. I'm almost not what I was expecting to hear, because coming out here, everyone's saying, Brian, come out. Brian, we have questions for you. But we have confirmed Brian not in this house, and Brian not sure where he is. So now we know that Gabby is missing, as well as Brian. The FBI is assisting in locating both of them currently. So this is pretty big, because I feel like everyone was saying that they wanted Brian Laundrie to speak up so they can learn where Gabby is. Now, not knowing where Brian could be a little bit harder for investigators to figure this out. Incredible to see the amount of people out here as well. I just keep looking left and right and just seeing all of these people with signs. I will tell you something that's interesting. Since those 2 police officers walked out of Brian Laundrie's family's home, everything's kind of been silent. Everything's been very quiet. Before we had people with loudspeakers chanting, "Where's Gabby?" And now things have gone to be a lot more quiet. So that's an interesting observation I have. And I will point out that police are still out here in the driveway. Yes, so I have some people just texting me what's going on. They saw our update with Laundrie's attorney saying that his location right now is unknown and that the FBI is searching for him. So I think this was a twist and a turn in the investigation that no one quite saw coming. So people are asking a lot of questions, which is fair. And hopefully Northport Police will answer those questions for us, because a lot of people, you saw it out here tonight, and you can still see it out here. I mean, people are just all over the place. They're invested in this case, and they care. I mean, that one mother who, when I asked her, she started crying. I mean, she doesn't know Gabby, she doesn't know Brian, and she immediately just had tears in her eyes. So just incredible to see the support and how far this story has gone. And now it's pretty eye-opening to see that Brian himself is now missing. So, or I would rather say that his location's unknown, because it appears that he probably, maybe Northport Police know more about what happened since they're talking to his family. I'd be curious to know, does his family know where he is or where he could be? That'd be a big question I have. But now, thinking back to what we saw tonight, I kind of want to recap. When we got here, we know that there were 4 Northport police officers inside the home. They came out, they grabbed evidence bags to bring back inside the home. I haven't seen those evidence bags with my eyes come out. We did see at one point that those police officers came and searched a car in the driveway. Now I'm just wondering, with Laundrie in an unknown location, what this car in this driveway could potentially have, what that could potentially tell us in this case. Hopefully Northport Police will tell us a little bit about what they were looking for in the car and if they had found anything. But the lights are still on in this house. Police are still out here in the driveway, and people are still out here for sure. So it's just very interesting to see. Once we kind of got that news, once the police left the house and drove away, everything really did get quiet. I hear police still trying to make sure the roadway's clear.
I should mention, a lot of people have been streaming all of this on their phones, like my dog who's all their phones actually. It's just a matter of moments here. Right now, you probably hear some howling in the background. What police asking people to clear the roadway. It's continuing to be an issue out here tonight with so many people trying to see what's going on.
it's incredible to notice just the difference of the atmosphere out here. It looks like someone's walking by that window. I don't know if that's just a shadow, but it looks like someone might be leaving the house right now, keeping a close eye on the front door. Not at the moment, but from my knowledge, police are still inside, because I only saw 2 leave before. But of course, there were a bunch of people here and everyone crowded, so I do see movement in front of that window. People are still out here, but everyone is silent. That is a very interesting observation I have.
What's that stacked on the truck over there?
To your knowledge, what you witnessed, just to kind of talk it out, when police left the house, did you see 2? Was it 2 officers you saw as well?
I talked to him.
Okay. And to my understanding, there's more. Would it be to your understanding too? It's good to just kind of talk this out. That there would be more inside.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my photographer and I just kind of chatting. Just there was a lot of people when those officers came out. And we still see police out here almost guarding the house. So
Yeah.
to our understanding, there are still officers
I think
inside.
Probably maybe an officer, maybe 2 officers in there.
Yeah, we're anticipating maybe 2. And also, I would like to clarify with you, you didn't see evidence bags in their hands, did you?
No.
Okay, neither did I. So those are 2 observations we have from our own eyes being out here. Of course, we would like to confirm all of this information with police, but from what we're seeing out here is 2 officers had left the home, I would say probably in the last half hour, maybe hour, probably half hour, and we didn't see them leave with evidence bags, but we do know that earlier today they were taking in evidence bags, and they were looking through the car, they were looking for things.
On
So
the driver's side and the trunk.
yeah, driver's side and trunk. So what's just my biggest observation right now is earlier they brought in those evidence bags. They came out to get them, like they knew they were going to put something in them. So my assumption and observation right now would be that they've got those evidence bags inside along with more officers, and they should be leaving at some point tonight. That could be in a minute, that could be in an hour. No quite telling, but I can tell you we still have officers in the driveway, making sure no one gets too close to the home, and just taking a look out here. I know there were officers kind of directing traffic as it came back and forth, and I believe I still see that officer down there. So just some observations I'm seeing. There was something on top of the truck.
Yeah.
I'll take a walk over and kind of see. My mic might cut out.
Somebody's watching them.
Hey, excuse me. Are there still officers inside?
I have no clue.
Okay.
That would be a question for our public information officer.
Okay, I was just curious.
I just got called to stand here.
Yeah, I just know when they did walk out, everyone kind of swarmed up, so figured I'd ask. Thank you. I'm just going to sneak right behind you here. Okay, so some information. I was just able to chat with the officer who's standing in the driveway. I'm not sure if my mic cut out or not. Were you able to hear me? Oh, okay. So
a little, but then
okay, my photographer telling me that got caught, but he won't tell me if anyone's inside. He tells me that he was just called out here to stand in the driveway and guard the driveway. So, to my understanding, I believe there are officers still inside. I see a police officer driving down the block right now with his lights on, just looking like he's just trying to get through. I see another police officer in the driveway of the house next door. And I can tell you, people are still out here. There are dozens and dozens of people, including kids, that are still out here. I did text Brian Laundrie's lawyer, just to be transparent and tell you what I'm trying to get confirmed here. So I did text him. Let's see, I believe I have a text. Not from him, but I will say he has not answered my question, but I did ask him if he has any idea where Brian could be as his lawyer. You would imagine that maybe they were speaking. Maybe he was the last person to talk to him. Maybe his family was. It'd be interesting to see. It looks like Northport Police have tweeted. So I'm going to go to their Twitter right now and get you guys that update. Let's see. Okay, this is good information for us. So Northport Police Chief Todd Garrison just tweeted out 14 minutes ago, the conversation at the Laundrie home is complete. Once we have the details, a statement will be made. We ask for a calm exclamation point. Please let us work through this and information will be forthcoming. All right, so Northport Police Chief saying that their conversation inside is complete. That would lead me to believe that police are no longer inside the home. I'll read the tweet one more time for all of you. The conversation at the Laundrie home is complete. Once we have details, a statement will be made. We ask for calm. Please let us work through this and information will be forthcoming. So I will retweet that just so more people can see it. Alrighty. Retweet that. What is interesting to me is there are police that were told to stay outside of the home, so I wonder if that's for the family's safety, if they'll be here all night. That's a question I have for police. Let's see. Okay. So it would be my assumption that police are no longer inside the home. Just kind of taking a look around. I can tell you, people are still out here. People have not left. The crowd has definitely gone down. Just going to take a step over here to really take a look. It's gotten dark out, so it is hard to see. But yeah, for the most part, it looks like people starting to leave, starting to go home. Tons of cars here on the street still, and this is Brian Laundrie's family's house. The police chief in Northport saying that they will be releasing information when they can. Very interested in seeing what the information they have would be. But I do want to remind some of you who may just be joining that we heard from Laundrie's attorney, who tells us that his location is unknown, that the FBI is searching for him. He told me that the FBI is searching for Gabby and Brian. So Brian's location currently unknown. I would ask the question, does his family know where he could be or where he is? And I also did ask the lawyer, my phone just buzzed, if his lawyer knows where he could be or is. So that's a question I'm waiting on in my messages. So very interesting. I almost want to just take a little walk in the street and kind of see what's going on. Let's see. I'm going to slip back here. Okay, so we are still seeing people in the street. You're okay. It's kind of live. This is how it works. But we are still seeing some people. I'll tell you, the crowd drastically dropped. A lot of people have went home. And before, it was a little bit noisy out here. I mean, there's no more chanting. There's none of that. People are definitely quiet. They're just kind of standing around, sticking around. We have 2 officers in the driveway right now. One telling me that he was just told to come out here. Not clear on exactly the reason behind that, whether they're still going to go back in or if it's out here for the family to make sure that no one goes up to the door. Information that we would expect Northport Police to hopefully release to us tonight. You can kind of just see the people out here just hanging around, sticking around. Very interesting to see. We'll take a step on the side of the road. Just a crowd of people right there. That's probably the most of the people we're seeing right now. Oh, interesting to see that yellow shirt, if we can zoom in on that. Wow, she has made a shirt. I would be interested in talking with her. Just some people driving by. I'm gonna see if she'll talk to me. Hey, I noticed your shirt. Any chance you might be willing to talk with me? I'm with Channel 10.
Where's your shirt? Where is Gabby?
Yeah.
I'd rather not.
Okay, no problem.
Put the shirt in it or whatever.
Okay. Are you a friend, or are you just kind of out here?
Just out here.
Okay, yeah, that seems like kind of the vibe of everyone we've been talking to. Yeah. Do you guys plan to stay out here much longer, or?
I don't think so.
Yeah, everyone kind of seems to be trickling out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate it. All right, so people appear that they're going to be leaving in the near future here. But it's very interesting. The people I'm talking with don't know Gabby, don't know Brian. They're just out here kind of showing their support. So. But I can tell you police are still out here, 1 directing traffic and 2 standing in the driveway right there. Okay, until we have another update, I'm going to turn my microphone off, but I know we're still live streaming here. And just to recap, in the last, hour, even less here, what we have seen and learned is that police have left the home of Brian Laundrie's family here in Northport. We do know that Brian Laundrie is not inside of the house. According to his lawyer, he tells me that right now he doesn't know his location. He tells me that the FBI is looking for both Gabby and Brian now, so that's a major update in this case. Northport Police Chief saying that they should be releasing information. They're asking everyone to remain calm as they get to that point, asking really just for everyone's patience. But they say that their conversation, this is according to the Northport Police Chief, the conversation inside of the house tonight is complete with police. And I can also recap that the intent of police coming out here was to talk to Brian Laundrie's family and not Brian Laundrie himself. And according to his lawyer, Brian Laundrie's lawyer, he tells me that the conversation was to help assist in where Brian could be, which I think is different than a lot of people thought out here. They thought it was to help find Gabby. So maybe it could be both. That's answers we will ask the Northport Police Department as well as the FBI, both investigating this national search now for Gabby and Brian. So big update there. For now, I'll turn off my microphone, and any other big updates, I'll be sure to tune right back in.
to call him now.
Do it all.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just got here. I'm like unfamiliar myself right now. I don't know. But based off of what happened, you guys are here watching the whole thing? Yeah. Okay, so what do we know? We saw forensic bag, we saw FBI, we saw Northport Police.
And my case was in Lyons. So, yeah.
Oh, the lawyer released a statement.
Yeah.
That is major.
Um,
What do you guys think? I have an idea.
On the road.
I was like, his location's unknown. I went to missing place.
So, wait, is that what he said?
But yeah, they word for word they said. But like,
Oh.
my thing is, when people got shot when they left,
They were looking at sending a statement as well.
Yeah.
Did they bring anything out?
Nope. Not that we could see. Yeah.
No.
did you see them bring the evidence guys out?
I didn't, but I saw they like
That's what I was
they
saying.
were
Like, there was
like
some
really
prostitutes over
discreet
there,
with
right?
it. Yeah.
Okay, they were just okay.
I saw you earlier at the next one. And then we all just ran.
Yeah.
Everyone was packing food stuff right now.
I know.
And then here we are.
It's like the story's all over the place.
Who is it?
This person was supposed to go to her house and leave the door.
There's no signal from there. Like on it for nothing. I don't know where they are.
The guy standing in front of you, I'm maybe police custody.
I don't know why I'm here.
Oh, okay.
You're still streaming live on our end, huh? Well, I haven't used the battery yet, so we're at 24%. I'll bring it down to 10% next. My battery will charge it up to 100% again. We get to 11. Anything you want. If you bring this car, you can park it here now. That car now.
Is there traffic control down there?
Oh, then I gotta let you through.
Alright, next step. Hello?
Okay, but I will be there to use warning and anything ever on the Okay. Thank you. That's getting rolled around.
Here, do you just want to use the
This is fine. We just, I think we're gonna put it.
well then do you just want to hold it and pretend like it's a sick mind and then pass it to me?
This?
Yeah. I mean like I just don't know how else to do it. You want me to do it without one?
We have to talk to Cynthia about how to do it. She's gonna do a live broadcast after the news release. I think she's gonna do updates, and then she's gonna say Emma was there during the scene,
Yeah, a little
and then I
tiny
will
one.
just give you the mic.
A little thin one.
Okay, okay, that's fine. Does that work? She said it's gonna be rough for us to
Huh?
close
Same
the
area.
what's going on,
Passenger,
and not
back.
really.
I mean, driver's back seat. Okay. You got your badge on, right? Okay. I'm gonna let this one die all the way through. And then change it around 10 cents. Just that battery and let's see what's one of these little tiny ones.
I think I'm only gonna say a few sentences
After it's vexed, you got to get a nice cut.
what looked to be forensic gas. And at one point, we even saw them go through his car on the property, and it's really unclear if they found anything. After 2 hours, detectives left the home, and everyone here soon learned that Brian Laundrie is now missing, leading people to ask, where are they?
Oh, and I also just forgot the light battery. Well, I have to go back to my car anyway. Do you have to go to your car?
Hey, Sean, are you at work? Oh, on the Can I set it down now? Because I need to charge it, but it's heating up and it's not letting me